Hello and welcome back to English with Wolfizzle. I am Professor Wolfizzle and I am here with my wonderful friend Sara. Today we are talking about a topic that so many of you asked for. We are going to level up your English at work.
I am so happy to be here, Professor. Sometimes I feel like my English is perfectly fine for a coffee shop, but at the office, I feel like a child. I want to sound more professional, more confident, and more in control.
That is a very common feeling, Sara. Basic English is fine, but professional English builds trust. It makes you sound like a leader. Are you ready to upgrade your office toolbox?
I am ready. Where do we start?
Let's start with the most common sentence in the world. I am busy. Everyone says it, but it sounds a bit basic, doesn't it?
It is true. I say I am busy 5 times a day. What should I say instead to sound more like a pro?
Well, if someone asks you for a meeting, instead of I am busy, you can say, I am juggling a few priorities right now, or I am a bit tied up at the moment.
I am tied up? That sounds like I am tied with a rope. Is that okay to say in an office?
It is a very common business metaphor. It means your time is tied to other tasks. It sounds professional, clear, and very polite. Let's practice. Sara, I need a meeting with you right now.
Hey, Professor. I would love to talk, but I am a bit tied up at the moment. Can we touch base later this afternoon?
Wow, you just used touch base too. That is a perfect professional phrase. It just means let's talk later. Listeners, repeat after Sara. I am a bit tied up. Let's touch base later.
That was easy. What about when I make a mistake? I always say I am sorry over and over. I feel like I am apologizing for existing.
That is a trap many people fall into. I am sorry is polite, but in a professional setting, we want to focus on the solution, not the apology. Instead of just saying sorry, say, I appreciate you pointing that out. I will make sure this doesn't happen again.
I appreciate you pointing that out. That changes the focus from the mistake to the solution. I like that.
Exactly. It shows you are a professional who learns from mistakes. Let's practice. Imagine I tell you that your report has an error.
Oh, I see. I appreciate you pointing that out, Professor. I will double-check the data and make sure this doesn't happen again.
Bravo! That sounds so much more confident. Listeners, write that down. I appreciate you pointing that out. Now, Sara, here is a big one. What do you say when you don't know the answer to a question?
Usually I just say, I don't know, and I feel so embarrassed. It feels like I am failing.
Never say just, I don't know. It sounds like you are not prepared. Instead, say, that is a great question. Let me look into that and get back to you.
Let me look into that. That sounds like I am actively doing something about it, not just giving up.
Exactly. You are showing that you have a process. I don't know is a dead end. Let me look into that is a bridge.
This is really helping me. My office toolbox is getting much bigger. But what about emails? I always start with, here is your file.
Emails. For emails, try please find attached. It is the gold standard for professionalism. Or if you are emailing someone for the second time, don't say, I am emailing you again. Say, I am circling back regarding our previous conversation.
Circling back. That sounds so smooth.
It is. It sounds like you are managing the project, not just sending emails. Let's try a mini meeting role play. I will play the boss, and you will use these new phrases.
Okay, I am ready.
Sara, can you finish the presentation by this afternoon?
Well, Professor, I am a bit tied up right now with a client call. Let me look into my schedule and get back to you in an hour. Can we touch base then? Perfect. And if you send me the draft later, how would you write that email? I would say, Dear Professor, please find attached the presentation draft we discussed. I am circling back to ensure this meets the requirements. That is perfect. You were honest, professional, and used the correct email language. How did that feel? It felt natural. I didn't feel like a child. I felt like a colleague. That is the magic of professional English. You don't need big words. You just need clear words. Now, let's talk about meetings. Sometimes people talk so much I can't speak. How do I interrupt politely?
I usually don't interrupt. I just wait, and then the meeting is over.
We must change that. Use, could I jump in here? Or if I could add something to that point?
Could I jump in here? That sounds assertive, but not rude.
Exactly. It shows you are engaged. Listeners, repeat that. Could I jump in here?
And what if I don't understand what someone said?
Say, could you walk me through that again? It invites them to explain rather than you admitting you didn't get it. It keeps the conversation positive.
I am definitely going to use these. I feel like I am finally becoming a workplace English pro.
You are. But remember, the most important part of professional English is not the words. It is the mindset. You have the right to be heard. You have the right to ask for clarification.
That gives me so much confidence, Professor.
Good. Now, let's do a final review for our listeners so they can take notes.
Okay, instead of I am busy, use I am tied up or I am juggling priorities.
Instead of I am sorry, use I appreciate you pointing that out.
Instead of I don't know, use let me look into that and get back to you.
For emails, use please find attached and I am circling back.
And for meetings, use could I jump in here or could you walk me through that again?
You guys heard that? Those are 5 professional upgrades for your workday.
This makes me feel so ready for my meetings tomorrow. I am going to be the most professional version of myself.
That is the goal. Confidence comes from preparation. Listeners, your homework is this. Tomorrow, use at least 2 of these phrases in your work or your studies.
Yes, and let us know how it went. Did you feel more confident? We want to hear your success stories in the comments.
Thank you for listening today. You are leveling up every single day.
Bye, everyone. Go and be professional.
See you next time. This is Professor Wolfizzle and Sara signing off. Bye-bye.